back to our channel. My name is Simone. It's been a long time since I sat down to record a YouTube video. Yeah, being a mom is tough. It's rewarding, but it's time consuming. It's beautiful. It's a lot. Oliver already set up. I set up this for me, so I decided to just kind of like sit down and do a quick video. So hey, if you're new here, my name is Simone. I'm a first-time mom. I had my baby with two midwives and a doula, and we shared the whole journey. And today I'm here to share the things that we bought and then we didn't use, or maybe use for 2 3 weeks. Just in case someone is out there looking to make their registry, and you might be thinking like, what do I need? What do I don't need? What don't I need? What are things that I don't really necessarily need? I think I already say that. But anyway, so if you like this video, don't forget to click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any comments, if you have any, just let me know. Just talk to me in the comments. All right. So let's go ahead and go down the list. I have it written down here. All right. First thing first, the burping clock, right? The burping cloth. So we bought those, but we never used them, not even once. I have the feeling it's because I nurse. Amari is breastfed, that it didn't really burp to the point where I needed to like have a cloth, right? I don't know. I don't know what other moms think. I don't know what other moms experience. If formula maybe make baby more susceptible to burp and have a lot of like food, whatever, milk on your body after they burp. I don't know, but we didn't use it, so we got them and returned them, right, and returned them. We never used them. So that's the first thing. So if you're planning on nursing your baby, I would say don't buy a lot. Maybe just buy a few just in case, and kind of see how your baby is going to behave, for lack of a better word. All right, that's number one. Number two, if my phone could unlock. Number two is the bassinet. All right, so it also depends how big your place is. If you're going to co-sleep, if you're going to have your baby in your room, which I strongly advise to, and also if you're going to have your baby crib in your room, how far it is from the bed. Also depends. It might depend. Also, did you have your baby naturally via vaginal, your birth canal, or I cannot say that word, like vagin en français. If you have your baby via the birth canal, or you had a belly birth, right? So one thing they say about a bassinet is that you put it right next to your bed, and you could just get up and get the baby. It's not that simple. Like you still have to get up, right? It's not like you're gonna just roll over and grab your baby. No, it's not like that. You still have to get up and sit down and grab your baby. Um, Also, because like you just give birth, there's also ways that you have to like get up, right, to make sure you keep everything. You don't, because everything is healing, you have to like get from the bed a certain way. So long story short, you still have to get up in the sitting position, and then you grab your baby, right? So depending, if your room, you have a bedroom and it's very big, and then maybe the crib won't be too close to the bed, then maybe you might need a bassinet, so you could put a bassinet next to you. Our room is not that big, so, and the crib fits in our room. And when I saw that, I said, you know what, the crib is not that far away. If I need to get up and do a few steps, I'll do that. The bassinet, how am I going to use that for how long? 2 months, 3 months, and then you got to transfer your baby to the crib. And then our baby was very big; it was 9 pound 3 ounces. So honestly, using a bassinet for like 2 months, pay full price of it, for me, it was just not worth it. Right? So it was a nice bassinet. I appreciate my friends got it for me, but I returned it and used the money for something more that we use more. So I would say, like, see how your room is. I didn't find any value in it, and the fact that we thought to sleep, Amari thought to sleep in his crib, we didn't have to transition him, right? We was already used to his crib, so we didn't have to do that. So that's another thing. Okay, next thing is a diaper caddy. Okay, so diaper caddy is supposed to be this little thing, and it has like a little compartment. You could put your diapers, you could put your cream, you could put whatever the case is. So if you need to change your baby in the living room, you could just bring it, whatever the case is. I think it's just a waste of money, to be honest. Because if your baby's in the living room, you could just like grab your diaper and then go in the living room. It's not something that you need. You might get it, but also if you have a small place and then you want to keep it in the living room, where you gonna keep it? You know, all depends. So honestly, I didn't need that. But obviously, if you have a big house and you find yourself in the living room and then your room is upstairs and you don't want to do the back and forth, then obviously you might need a station in the living room. Maybe have that caddy, you know. So but for us, that wasn't the case. We live on one floor. The room is not too far from the living room, so grabbing a diaper from the drawer and then going to the living room, it's not that bad, you know. So I didn't use that. I'm gonna see if all of us can add pictures of each things. I'm gonna see, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, number 4, the diaper warmer. Okay, so depending at what time of the year your baby is born, this may be needed. I didn't find it useful, so we got it and we returned it. So Amara was born in May, summertime, and we're in California, so I didn't find that useful. I don't remember how much it cost to me. It was like, it's fine. You don't need to use it. But I'm guessing if your baby, you're like in New York and your baby's born like, I don't know, in January or February, and that could be useful. Um, so you don't like, your baby's nice and warm and next thing you know, there's a cold thing on his, I don't know, on his body or her body. So, but personally, we didn't find it useful. And even like now that it's getting a little bit chilly over here, he's already used to that sensation. And sometimes we kind of use it and just kind of like, and then use it on him. So again, that's a luxury. That's not something that you necessarily need, right? Or if you were to need it, maybe you could look. You feel like you really want it. Maybe you could buy a second hand, because sometimes I think if you buy stuff on the website, they might have like gently used. So I might do that. So that's one thing I feel like you don't need, right? If you want it, you want it. But if you're looking to kind of like, save your money, that's why I'm doing this list. So you don't buy things just to buy them. You could just save the money for something that's actually very important. Okay, next up, the swing. All right, so we bought a swing, and the first time I used it with Amari, he cried, he didn't like it, right? And I was like, okay, you know what? We're probably not gonna need it. And then I think I tried again the second time, it was okay. And I think the third time, that's kind of like when he got used to it. So we used it for maybe 2 to 3 months, and I grew it, right? When he was using it, he liked it. Like when he finally got used to it, we would put him there. He get like swing left and right, and we have like his little nap and everything. And but he grew so fast, right? He grew so fast, and he grew out of it to the point where when he wakes up, so the swing comes with like little straps, right? That you could like put your baby safe, so like if they want to move, they're not gonna fall over. At first we didn't use the straps, and then when it was time to kind of like when it was moving more and more, and we had to use the straps. Amara was too big for those, like because they make it for like I don't know for how many months they make it for, but Amara was too big for those, so we couldn't do it. So we just have to make sure we're always there to watch him, right? I mean, we were always watching him, like he's always whenever he naps, it was attended. So but with this one, because sometimes you could turn your face and he would just like be upset and trying to jump out of it, like literally would jump out of it, his feet would touch the floor, and if he had happened to fall, then the face he would fall forward. So we didn't use it for a long time. Again, some website have it like gently used, because like for instance, if I were to sell mine, um, the person will get it and it will still be clean, and I barely use it. So I think if you want to get it, you want to get something like that, and you want a budget, I would look for something that's gently used. You could always see because it comes in like white, right? And every time we use it, we always put a cloth on top of it, so his own lotion stuff like that didn't get on it. So we kept it very very clean. So that would be a nice. We could resell it easily for a decent cost. So if you want to buy a swing, I would look for something like that, especially if you have like a big baby boy. Them African and Jamaican jeans are not playing. All right, so that's the bassinet. All right, next up. All right, the wraps, baby carrier, all that good stuff. Okay, so we had a whole bunch of wraps, right? I'm African. I'm used to like back home. It's just like a le pain, or just a fabric. You put the baby in the back. It's not complicated. Like it's really nice. Just like one long thing like this. Now they have this thing here in the U.S., maybe other countries too, where you gotta you gotta do a whole bunch of stuff. right? So when I gave birth, I had pubic symphysis, so I couldn't even walk properly, let alone carry the baby and walk. So I was not going to do all those things and carry my baby. I couldn't do it, right? So by the time I felt better and I could start walking and carrying him, um, I just because we had bought a few ones. I bought the one that was kind of like almost like pre-made already. Because I'm like, why am I gonna stress myself here to kind of like wrap the baby like this? Either I use a cloth like we use back home and wrap my baby to the back. That's simple. Or I use the one that's almost like kind of like pre-made already, right? I'm gonna see if all of us can add a picture. Um, that just make my life easier. I just put him there. When it was little, it was facing me, and now I make him face forward. So I think that's a I don't know if you want to do all the thing, which is great, especially if you have a little baby, you could do that. My baby was big, and for a long time I was very weak. I was not trying to sit here standing up and then trying to do all that. I just to me um it was not worth it. So I end up like returning all of it, right? And the only thing so I only have two right now, where they already pre-made. I just kind of put him there. One I have to kind of tie in the back, and then the second one is just basically ding 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 ding, and then you're done, right? So that's my thing also. So honestly, I guess that it depends on each person. But like I said, back home we just tie your baby in the back. It's not complicated. You just a little kind of like a hinge, lean forward, put your baby back, and then you're good to go. All those things that you have to do here, I just couldn't. So that's my take on that. Um, okay, the baby shusher. Uh, maybe use it once or twice. That's it. Like Amari, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't use that. So again, I would say if you thinking about using that too, like little stuff like that, even though it doesn't cost as much, look for a used one. Like use for a used one, and then if you don't like it, then at least you didn't spend a full price. Because then the things like I feel like some of the baby stuff are just so expensive, or they have so many things, and just because this is your baby, you want the best for the baby, and you just want to buy everything. Also, I'm going to say just because it's expensive doesn't mean your baby's gonna like it. So keep all your receipt, from all the registry. Keep all your receipt. However, you're gonna have people buy you stuff. Keep all the receipt because, like I said, just because something's expensive doesn't mean your baby's gonna like it. Something could be like very like cheap, poorly even made, and that's what your baby likes. So keep that in mind. Okay. Next up, pacifiers. Amari did not like pacifiers, right? We bought like one of different kinds, and also the place that we registered, they will send you like sample ones. I said all over. Amari did not like any of the pacifiers, like any. So I would say, and from what I heard, it's not the first baby to not like pacifiers. Some baby like it. Before you go ahead and buy 20,000 pacifier, just maybe buy one of each kind because first of all, you don't even know which kind your baby's gonna like. Just because expensive doesn't mean that baby's gonna like it, like I said. So I will buy maybe one of each kind, something like that, and keep the receipt and see which one your baby will like. And if they don't like it, then at least you didn't spend like I don't know money to buy like the same kind four of it. So I would just keep like maybe buying one at a time, and go from there. Um, and okay, so the last thing that I have here on my list is the doc thought. Doc a thought, I think it's called. So like one of those things that you could put your baby in the middle, and then so you can kind of like keep them safe from like rolling side to side, right? Um, so by the time we started using it, Amari had outgrew it, right? Like he was too tall, and I just kind of felt like it was cramped. So yes, we bought it, but we didn't use it. So I think it also depends on I guess on each baby. For instance, I bought him like a little winter little suit and everything. I bought 6 to 12 month. He's 6.5. It didn't fit. It was too tight. I had to literally buy I bought 12 to 18 month. Now that one fits nicely, right? Or somebody bought her clothes and then it's 18 month, that fits him nicely, right? Like he could grow, he's gonna grow into it a little bit, but that's the size where he's at right now. So I would say there are certain things even when it comes to clothes. Don't overbuy clothes because you don't know what size the baby's gonna be, right? Especially if you're having a black baby. A lot of times, sometimes not a lot. Well, to my experience, at least in my family, I was a big baby. Everyone in my family, like all my cousins, like I have cousins who gave birth around the same time, and they all were around 4 kilos, right? 4 kilos and some. So a baby like that, if you went and bought a whole bunch of like, I don't know, newborn clothes, now you're stuck with those clothes you're not gonna use, and they grow fast. Or maybe you use it for a week, next thing you know they can't wear it anymore. Um, when we started, we only bought a few things, like maybe like just a few things, one of each, and then also because it was summer, here was getting really really hot, so we didn't have to like worry about sweater. So that's one thing I'm gonna say. Also, plan according to more or less your due date, right? At least you know it's gonna be around this month. It's gonna be around this season. So if you know you're gonna be in winter, then of course you need to buy some winter clothes. But if you know it's gonna be in the summer, don't start buying a whole bunch of like, I don't know, jackets and like of course when you bring your baby to the hospital from the hospital, or if you're at home, etc. You might need you're gonna need something warm, but don't go and buy the whole story, right? So yeah, I hope you find this video useful. So basically, long story short, um, there's certain things that you don't need, and keep your receipt. Um, just because it's expensive doesn't mean baby's gonna like it. And also because you don't know exactly what size your baby is going to be when it comes to clothes. So don't go buy a whole bunch of clothes. Honestly, sometimes when they have like zero to like, I guess if your baby is pregnant, that's a different story. But like all those like few those like zero to what you call newborn stage. Honestly, no one should buy that. At least from the babies that are born around me. I have a friend, her baby was a little bit smaller than Amari, and they were born a day apart. I don't know what kind of clothes she bought, but from my experience and the babies in my family, well, first of all, Africans never buy clothes that fit you right away. They're gonna buy you clothes, you're gonna grow into it. And I'm so glad I did that because Amari was like, I remember like the sweater that I bought for him for from the center to the house. I only wore him. I only He only wore it once. It doesn't fit anymore. Anyway, that's it. Hope you find this video useful. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I think next I'm gonna do a video on the things that I really really use and that are like just like, oh, I could have not done this whole first few postpartum was added. Okay, thank you. Until next time.